Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else, welcome back to the 10th installment of the Tenax Proving Grounds. I'm Emmy, and I'm joined here today by Mel. Welcome in, Mel. It's your first time casting for Tenax. How are you doing this evening? Or for you this morning?
Hi, Emmy. I'm doing great. Very early here in New Zealand, but I'm very excited here to be casting with you guys and looking forward to our match.
Yes, we unfortunately, due to today being the patch day, are a tiny bit delayed with the start of our stream, which is why we decided to skip the first round of our qualifiers and we're jumping in with the second round immediately. We have Team Oboy versus Team. I'm sorry for being the most German sounding person right now. Team Schwertfeger. It's going to be an exciting match. Oboy got the bye in the first round because they were expected to probably perform pretty well in the qualifiers, while Schwertfeger managed to beat Team Serenia in the qualifiers. Team Oboy, a team that we are pretty familiar with. They have been around the comp scene for quite a long while. Meanwhile, Team Schwertfeger, a pretty new name for me. And the two teams have decided to pretty much skip picks and bans and immediately decide on the killer. So we will be seeing the Nightmare, Freddy on Dead Dog Saloon. How do you think that's going to go?
Oh, I mean, I I personally really like that dog saloon. It's in a main can be a bit tricky, but I think Freddy has enough tools in their kit to at least make it playable. I don't, what do you think, Emmy? I think it's gonna be a very fun match.
For sure, Freddy, a lot of perk viability if you want to play for either a more hit and run oriented playstyle, maybe play sloppy, ruin undying, something like that. Or you just go for an aggressive tunnel out, which is usually the preferred method, running pretty normal slowdown suit of perks with pain res, corrupted intervention, eruption, something like that. Now, Dead Dog Saloon notoriously full of pallets, which also means that the Nightmare is able to set up a bunch of his dream pallets himself, which allow the killer to do some very efficient zoning against the survivors, forcing them into areas where resources have already been depleted, where the Nightmare is even more powerful.
Yeah, the Dream Palette zoning really can have really strong spots here in the map, and there are some spots in Dead Dog I feel that once the resources are gone, it's just kind of cooked. Like you take a hit there, and it's just to go somewhere else. And if you're already injured, you're just going down, right? Like,
Yeah, definitely going to be a bit of a war of attrition. Well, it used to be when
mm,
Freddy was just reworked and people were trying to figure out how to properly play him and play against him in comp. There was a lot of ruin being played, and it was just a slugfest for most of the time.
yeah,
But people have learned the counterplay. They've gotten better at dodging the dream snares, the pallets. Meanwhile, the killers have also gotten better at using the pallets, to be fair, which at the start were, yeah, something that most of the killer players had to get used to. How do you like playing Freddy or against Freddy? Because I can't play him. His head bobbing just makes me motion sick.
no, that's fair. I play. I mean, I'm not a Freddy player by any means, but I do enjoy playing them sometimes. It's really satisfying when you could get those dream palette hits. Like I mean, I've seen like in comp, I've seen like two taps with just the power into an M1 immediately.
Yes.
It's really hype when it happens. Personally, I don't know. Us.
Now, something about me. I've been accused of notoriously dropping dream palettes in Freddy scrims, and what can I say? It's very satisfying. I know it's not the most efficient way, but hey, the last time I scrimmed against Freddy, I got 2 pallet stuns with dream pallets, and it made me very happy. Obviously,
Oh
at,
man,
at at this very high level, that is probably not going to happen. The killers are very well aware of how to use them properly. And yeah, a strong first chase, maybe some altruism. That's how you get a good start versus Freddy.
yeah. Another thing to consider as well is like playing around the sleep. Like when you're not asleep, especially if you have like the immunity from waking up from the clocks, right? Freddy's pretty much just an M1 killer until you fall asleep.
That is why one of his most popular add-ons in comp is the sleeping pill bottle. I'm not sure
Yeah,
about the exact name, but it's the purple add-on that every time when you wake yourself up, the next time you fall asleep goes 10% faster, up to a total of 50%, just to make your potential to use your power more effective rather than being forced to go for those M1 tags like you mentioned,
yeah.
or
It's
taking
I think oh, sorry, I was gonna say I think it's called Pill Bottle is
pill
the
bottle.
add-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other than that, the Z block, very popular, the one that gives you aura after hitting a survivor with your dream snare. You could also try to enhance your power by using the rake and increasing your slowdown from the dream snares, maybe increase decrease the charge time it takes to release the dream snare. But some people have actually been using the unicorn block, and that one increases the rupture rate of the dream pallets, so making those a tiny bit more lethal and maybe messing with the survivors' learned distances that way. Very interesting add-on. I'm curious to see if we're gonna see it or not.
Yeah, increasing that radius of the dream pallets will messing up the spacing the survivors will attempt definitely can be a bit tricky, especially if it's not identified right away. Like, a lot of these people scrim these killers a lot, and if you scrimmed one way and played that loop a specific way, suddenly a bigger dream pallet explosions can catch you off.
Exactly. And it's such a deceiving percentage as well. I think it's 14% increased range. That is not
Yeah.
super easy to call out immediately, especially if there might be some sort of ping involved, which is not going to be very big with these teams. They're both EU teams, so no cross ping to be expected. But yeah, might just happen that we don't see that add-on in the first place. But it's always fun to me when killers get reworked and they actually get a lot of add-on diversity. We've seen it with Freddy, we've seen it
Yeah.
with Pyramid Head, and just being able to use many add-ons, super interesting.
Mhm. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I really did like Michael Myers' rework. I think
Woo!
their new add-ons. I think the new add-ons are very interesting, especially like I really like how it's very the not in comp whatsoever, but I really like Scratch Mirror in its current place in Myers' kit.
You're devious.
Uh,
That
it's
is
a bit fun to play.
definitely that is definitely not a very popular take, but I dislike the old Myers so much that honestly any rework is a good
I
rework in my eyes. The
yeah, I
teams
really
are
found
loading into the game. We're just getting started. Team
yeah.
Oboy will be on Killer First with Team Schwertfeger on Survivor side. Let's go. But yeah, unfortunately, today's patch just really messed with everybody's ability to get into the games. But luckily, that has been resolved now. And we're actually seeing a very totem focused build coming through from DW. We have Pentimento, Undying, Crowd Control, and Ruin. Crowd Control to help out with this pesky main building that you mentioned earlier was so hard to play for the killer.
Yeah.
And yeah, very unusual, very snowbally build. Let's see if it
If
works
if
out for the killer.
if crowd control stays in play for a while, it could get so much value. Like that perk turns main into a death trap, I feel, once it gets going, you know what I mean? Like imagine the top window blocked, the bottom window block, and
Yeah,
like right here. If the survivor like doubles in back into the building and tries to play that window without realizing crowd control until it's called. Or if it yeah. They can't play back upstairs. And looks like we're gonna be taking Chase out here back to one.
yeah, Azurix in Chase, playing the main building, but just choosing to have a good death spot, dying on the toilet pallet. Pretty quick first down, not many resources
Yeah.
used. And on the hut, we're
Mhm.
seeing that there's also not too much gen progress just yet. So the survivors trying to find the location of the totems, trying to make sure that that crowd control does get cleansed sooner
Yeah.
rather than later.
Looks like we do have one of our totems here in a pretty open spot, I feel, between 8 and 9.
Next
By the
chase
water tower.
results into an easy tag onto Jonas. playing this pallet, this jungle gym, but
Get the
DW
pull on FTP.
goes back to the unhook for the people coming through from Luffy, trying to prevent the tunnel out onto our ace.
You can hear Lara, so that she's still behind main.
Yeah, and our killer
Right,
can as well, taking chase rather quickly. And this is just going to be our trade of hook stages. No tunnel out coming through. Very well played by the survivors.
Toilet pallet is thrown here. Lara is asleep, gets dream snared. Will she make the
Oh.
pallet? And I think it is a dream pallet, and she will be going down here.
Not
With the
much
firecracker use.
she can do. The comp cracker coming through. The one that gets thrown when nothing else can be done. Because, hey, maybe you're gonna get the blind, right? But
Chance do
second
pop
hook
for that.
stage, 2 generators pop from the survivor. And I was wrong. They're definitely not prioritizing cleansing these totems. They're trying to brute force their way through the generators because of the lack of upfront gen regression. Oof. Barely avoiding the hit there. Well played by Zurix, knowing his distance. Loses the 50 on
They
the
do
drop
get
pallet
hit
though.
unfortunately here. Yeah, it's just a 50-50 at that point.
But this is good. This is definitely where he wants to take chase right now, since the gens have been popped in this area. Takes the chase to Shaq, gets the fast forward before the dream snare can come through, and gets the stun onto our killer as well. Well played.
Very strong here by chase here by Ace. Gonna go to play water tower. Will he get the stun? He doesn't get the stun. No, it's killer space as well. But very unfortunate here for Azurix. As they do go down by water tower, which will be our death ace on death hook here. With 3 generators remaining.
But again, the death spot is very good. Shaq used, water tower used. The team is able to just pressure the gens, while Lara was able to heal with second wind off the hook. Does get caught out in the open though. A nifty teleport coming through from DW. Gets a free tag onto Luffy, who has to play this desert side of the map now. Many resources remaining here, but with the dream snares, these pallets are pretty unsafe.
It's a lot of 50-50s here. Oh, but
They win them
she
though.
do make it around. Yo.
Does not quite get the dodge. And the
Nah,
swing comes
unlucky. And
through.
because of the snare there's no way I think she makes the pallet. The killer will just get her with a lunge. And this will be Lara on second hook here. This is looking scary for our survivors, Emmy. We have 2 survivors here on death hook, 3 gens remaining. Like, if Ace dies and then Lara dies shortly after, it could be pretty sketch in a 1v2. Though, the death spots are pretty good. The hooks are hard to defend here while patrolling the gens. It's very out of the way. So the unhooks will be coming pretty easily if the killer doesn't commit to them. And if they do commit to them, they will get a lot of gen pressure for that hook stage.
Great game sense from DW, just finding a stealthing Jake near the tile where no generator or anything is to be worked. Very good. But
I think they were trying to bait a head on there in the locker, but they
DW
were
can
not.
just camp the hook here and maybe secure an early elimination onto Luffy. I mean,
Possibly, yeah.
2 gens remaining. We've checked around, but there doesn't seem to be too much gen progress just yet. Jonas asleep on the dream pallet, doesn't get tagged.
Yeah.
This should just be a trade for the survivors.
Will they get the trade? A body block could come into play here, and they might not be able to get the unhook. Oh, pulling
Dream
up.
snare also being
snare.
able to interrupt the hook, but the trade does come through.
Oh,
taking
body
the
block
BT
by
hit there. Well
Lara.
played.
Oh my.
This is risky though. Can't
Yeah, no
make
more
anything.
endurance here. With that snare coming through, she does make this pallet.
Yeah, this pallet is not safe. You can even swing over the fence. And they both know. They both
Is
know.
Adam here? Adam's here to take a body block, possibly.
Yeah, trying to lose collision with the dream snare. Going for the grab. Super well played by DW. Attempted flashlight save, but it doesn't quite come through. And that is going to be Lara leaving the trial with 2 generators remaining. That was such an interesting interaction, because both the survivor and the killer know that if Lara vaults there, the killer can just swing over the pallet. So
Yeah.
Adam there for the body block, but unfortunately, Freddy loses his collision when
When you pull up power.
shooting the dream snare.
Yeah, dream there.
So able to get the hit there. Really, really high level mind game.
Oh,
Gets the stun. Well played by
gets the
Jonas.
stun. Good spacing.
TW has to leave to patrol his gen and the main building. We see Azurix, another Deathhook survivor, in chase. Doesn't get hit by the dream
Asleep.
pallet. Good distance with the balanced landing. Has the Paladin to play. Loses the mind
Oh,
game though.
what a hit. Very good stuff. The one of the things while being one of the things while being asleep is that the oblivious effect, which makes it a bit harder to like gauge the killer's distance when based off the heartbeat because of that oblivious. Makes it a bit easier for these mind games.
DW decides with 2 injured survivors, there's not too much gen pressure. He can just leave this chase and hope to find an easier target. Jonas winning another 50 there, leaving the pallet instead of panic vaulting. Forced to play this pretty unsafe pallet. Can you win a 50 again? Oh, he can.
Oh, it does?
Oh, he can!
Oh,
There's
okay.
Resi coming through. Might be some German ping involved there.
Gets the vault again, but loses that 50 that time. Very unfortunate.
Finally goes down, yeah.
Looks like
DW
we're not
can't hook
missing.
though. Very scared of this main gen popping.
However,
Pathing.
I think
Free tag onto Adam.
I think they're in a very good spot here, right? Because we have crowd control still in play. 2 injured survivors, 1 slugged. It's like,
Yeah, this is looking very, very good for our killer.
what do you think? I mean, like, do you think it'll be a 4K2 or a 4K1?
I think it should be a 4K1. 4K2 would be very, very impressive.
Yeah. But the jump prog here in main seems very high. But I mean, like, Ruin is in play, right? Like, if they play this right, it is possible.
We see our ace being broken out. That is probably clean break coming through, so a heal over time, basically.
Yep.
But you must play very careful while you're still broken, because otherwise
Yeah.
you'll be leaving the trial, and in a 2v1, this would definitely be a 4K2.
Yeah, for sure. I think clean break, if I recall correctly, is like 60 seconds they have to like stay safe before it heals them.
Yeah, I think so as well. And while usually the killer is very incentivized to let the main generator go, Freddy can actually hold it quite well, having the ability to teleport there. Finds another tag onto Jonas.
I
Clean
think-
break coming through for Zurix.
I think especially with the crowd control still in play, holding main gen is very strong because main is not a safe place with all those windows blocked.
Yeah. And when it comes to the 3v1, Ruin gets the most powerful.
Insane, yeah. Like when it's 3v1 and a 2v1, I think Ruin with it still being up is like, yeah, the gen regression you get from it is very, very, very strong.
And DW just sees everything here. He can hear the main generator, he can see the generator on Gallows, and he knows that this one cannot have much progress. Second stage coming through onto Night Legend. Very unfortunate, but no one being able to unhook. A little mind game on the jungle gym. And Jonas leaves the tile, just electing to make as much distance before dying towards the edge of the map.
They're opting to die here so they could get the unhook, but it looks like we'll be slugging, coming back to teleport to the generator here in main, potentially catching the people from the unhook. We see them go into main, going towards 1 here. And it
Yeah.
looks like it is Adam here playing for their, I believe, final chase of the trial as they're on death hook here and injured. They go into the locker but get grabbed.
Yeah, really nothing he could have done there. Exhausted, no sprint burst, caught off
Yeah.
guard by the Nightmare breaking the pallet, and this is going to be a 4K2. Really well played.
Very good stuff. Ruin really putting in work here. I think the value from the hex bricks really, really came into play.
Yeah, I was very surprised when we saw that the survivors were not going for the totems, because they definitely would have needed some more gen pressure just to make
think-
up for having to play against such a strong hex suit in the later stages of the game. And that just
Yeah.
didn't really ever come through for them, unfortunately.
I mean,
Jonas
I think even
losing the 50, going down
Oh,
again.
unlucky. Will we get a slug here? No, we're going for a hook. I think also, I mean, at the start as well, I was very surprised when crowd control was identified and they didn't like attempt to try and plant some totems. Because like, I don't know, I feel like crowd control on this map is very strong.
Absolutely. But the survivor team also knows which perks are allowed. They probably decided to take the gamble, not having to deal with Pentimento, which, even though it's been
True.
nerfed, still a very, very powerful state. And this is
Like,
the last down coming through onto Azurix. Clean
mhm.
4K2 by DW. Okay,
GG's.
bit of a mishap disconnecting at the end. We usually want our survivors and killer players to stay in the trial until everything has resolved, but it's no big deal. No bad manners intended. Usually after you're done scrimming, you just DC, you can go
Yeah,
next
go
quickly
next.
again. But of course, in a tournament that is also being streamed, it is better to just play it out. And we were wrong on the add-on choices because this is an add-on that actually got 0 value. It is the Paint Thinner, which
Thinner.
allows the Nightmare to teleport to a dropped Dream Palette. And guess what? These survivors did not drop a single Dream Palette. But yeah, 4K2 is a really strong result for Freddy and DDS. I think a 4K is not unusual in this setting, but with the perks that the survivors have available, lots of exhaustion perks, lots of reset perks,
Yeah.
only being able to complete 3 generators is pretty unusual. We will see how the killer for Team Schwertfeger can do and how the Oboy survivor side will play it out. If you're killing for Team Schwertfeger right now, how would you turn the game around? How would you tilt it in your favor?
Oh man, I 4K2 is you can't like it's like it's on Dead Dog, right? So like you're looking maybe to like hold a 3 gen at the end there because there's some really strong 3 gens that spawn on Dead Dog, but like 4K2, you're gonna have to play really aggressively. I feel like maybe get some slugs away. It's Freddy, right? So like he's not the super craziest at slugging, but he can end chases quickly. Oh man, it's gonna be tough. I'd probably also bank on maybe some hex totems because I mean, very feast or famine perks hex with hex totems, and you can just like get big value out of them. So maybe that's the like that's a good way to get to this result, just like we saw in the previous game. But we're gonna have to have some really efficient chases here from our killer if we want to be matching this or getting better. That's the result.
Great analysis. I completely agree with you. You definitely want, if you want a high result in comp, you basically are required to bring Ruin, given that the opposing side doesn't completely mess up, which we don't expect them to. So lots of
Mhm.
slugging pressure, quick chases, not playing main for too long. We will definitely need to see some very good gameplay here. But we know Team Oboy has quite a strong survivor side. And since they suggested this killer, they are probably quite confident on it as well.
That is true. I mean, usually, teams that's when they suggest a bunch of killers, they probably have scrimmed those a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, their Freddy player played really well, right? So I'm very excited to see how their survivors do.
absolutely. And we have to remember that builds have to be submitted before
Before,
the
yeah,
game starts. So you can't just be like,
yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna, switch to Ruin and go for a really aggressive build.
yeah. So like, if they haven't locked in if they haven't locked in a strong hex build, then what? Well, we're expected to see, the Pain Resurrect Corrupt kind of build. I think you could still maybe you really have to cash in you have to get a really, really quick tunnel out, right? Then repeatedly cash in all 3 pain rest charges to match that result. Like that's the only way I think with the build like that.
Yeah. And
It's gonna
if
be
you're
tough.
if you're going for the fresh hooks, that's so much time you're investing without getting a
Yeah,
tunnel
yeah.
out, right?
Yeah, it's like that's the thing with pain rest, right? Like usually the last 3 charges are used after the tunnel out to secure like
Yeah.
that 1v3. But if you're going for a really high result, you need that regression right away at the start. So it's a big balancing act.
And on the flip side, our survivors are, Oboy survivors, sorry, very aware of their win condition. And even if the killer brings a hex build, they can just slow down the game. They can take their sweet time, look for the totems, cleanse them. Wait a second. Are we gonna see a Sable?
Oh boy.
Oboy are gonna make both of us very happy.
I hope
Sable
they get out. A
in
bit biased,
competitive
but
DBD is always such a rare sight because let's face it, Sable does have a bad reputation that I don't think is necessarily warranted. But it's always
I
nice
agree.
to
Yeah. I've
see people bringing in a unique survivor, their favorite survivor. And Sable doesn't have the best stealth, in my opinion, which kind of puts
uh
me off from playing
yeah.
her in comp. But if you're confident and you're still gonna make it work, I would love to see it.
I've gotten spotted across the map because of her white hair. This is like sticking out of the distance.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
I have to wear the comp beanie, you know, the black one with purple.
I wish it was a
But
real
even
beanie.
then,
That would look so good on her.
yeah.
The teams are getting ready again. We have some beautiful new survivors in the lobby as well.
Yeah, we have Dustin and 11.
Are you excited about the second Things chapter? Sorry that I messed that up.
I'm excited to have a new killer in the killer pool. I always do. I'm a killer main, right? So like I always love having new killers to try and play. And I think they did a pretty good job with the mechanics of the new killer. I think it's very like I might be wrong, right? I've literally played the killer once. So like I enjoyed it. So I think it's really cool. I might be wrong. I've like you know, I might be eating my words in 10 games from now. I'm like, man, I really hate this killer. But so far I've been really enjoying it. So I am excited for the new chapter. And I'm very yeah.
Awesome.
It's gotten me to start watching Stranger Things because I haven't watched it
Oh,
before this. Yeah. So I'm like halfway through season 2 right now. So
are you enjoying it?
getting there. Yeah. I stopped. I had to take a break like halfway through season 1 because of like you know the day was ending. But then then I was playing Dead by Daylight the following day, and I'm like, man, I really want to fucking tunnel Steve. He's such an asshole. But apparently he gets better, and he did get better. So like,
That's incredible. Okay, we are loading in again. Our win condition for the killer is going to be 4k3. That is a pretty tall task. Meanwhile, our survivors only have to pop 4 generators, and that is the win for them.
very excited to see. I do hope Sable gets out, but you know that's a bit of bias speaking.
Hey, that's okay. You can be biased. Towards survivors, it's very fair to be biased. We just try to avoid being biased towards the team, right? We have
Yeah.
Luffy playing the Nightmare with Nazan, DW, Mathis, and Rez on the survivor side. We see, as expected, a pretty heavy regression build. No totems in this one. And our
Mhm.
first chase
Yes.
is, in fact, onto Sable.
Yeah. We have I believe we saw Sloppy on this build. If I was
Very,
correct, if
very good.
I'm
Since you're gonna get
yeah.
most
So
of your injuries with Yam 1, also helps with slugging a lot.
and getting those yeah, getting that hit and run going, which Freddy can do with those teleports. Oh, Sable gets slowed here, unfortunately, and she will be taking an M1 and not being able to make the pallet. She runs using that on-hit movement speed, running to the pallet in front of main.
Doesn't get
Opting to
slowed
go
down here, has a
into
lot of
main as the
distance.
snare miss. Yeah. She'll make the window, I'm pretty sure. Gets that fast vault. Very good stuff. Snare comes through. Freddy
Oh,
breaks the vault. Yeah. Checking
great
a
patience
locker.
there on the check
Mhm.
spot, waiting for Luffy to actually drop the chase, going around, calling out for the teammate, hey, he's not committing me. And we see DW ready on the window. Now, Luffy has a really tough win condition here, right? So just expecting the head-on play, trying to grab somebody out of the locker. Very
Yeah.
heads-up play, but if it doesn't work out, you end up looking like a fool,
There's
and
the
then you get
head-on.
head-on
Oh.
stunned regardless. Oh,
No, I
great
mean,
play.
honestly, that's such a good read from Luffy there to attempt to check the locker there. Because if the head-on player was in there, right, and they just get immediately pulled from the locker, that's a disaster for the survivor team to get like for that to happen. And
And now
sometimes, you know, when you have to play for a result, like this, you have to make risky plays like that, right?
Exactly. And it's gonna look stupid if it fails, but if it works, you're gonna look like a genius. And you can win your
Yeah,
team the game, so you gotta send it sometimes. Now Math is doing great on this dropped toilet pallet.
you get
Into
the hit. Ooh, a
W
hit fake
coming in
here
for
from
a hit tank.
Boston.
Well played. Good teamwork.
However, now we have
Like
3 survivors injured with Sloppy in play.
going back to the strong main window. Now we're buying an extra bit of time. Lithe coming through, very strong exhaustion perk, and our
We've
nightmare
seen,
trying some mind gaming in the main building. The gens have not been popping yet. Only one gen so far.
well, we've
Teleport
had like a head-on come in, a hit fake come in. Um, so like survivors have been kind of off gens a bit for this to prolong this first down. And however, we've I was gonna say we've seen big value from our exhaustion perks here. We've seen value from life, we've seen value from head on, and we've also seen at the start there value from balanced landing.
Yes. And that is really what you have to do if you have those perks available. And we're really seeing Luffy struggling to get the first down here. It is just some very heads up play by the survivors. Great teamwork, just extending the chase so much longer. And knowing that these survivors are staying injured, we can expect them to be sticking a gen, working towards this
Yeah.
win condition.
The gen pops here as first hook is done.
That's
It
not
was
even a
not a
pain
pain
res.
res. As the second gen pops, we're now on our tie condition. I mean,
Opa!
oh,
That almost looked like DW was lagging out there, but I think the check spots were just a tiny bit off.
they were looking over their shoulder. I think they were expecting like them to come around to the gen from the middle area. With
It happens,
unfortunately,
it happens.
yeah, they were oblivious from being asleep. So it's not entirely their fault, but it just happens sometimes.
Yeah, they played it so well on the first chase when Nazan was calling out that the killer was leaving, and now
Yeah,
unfortunately we see the other side, what it
I
looks like
must
when the mind game works out.
Yeah, I must say though, Emmy, it's looking pretty. This is a pretty scary situation to be in for the survivor team. Like you
Yes,
have two hooked, one injured. Well, not two injured, but like if for example in that situation, right, Sable gets caught and down and she's slugged. You have one survivor standing, and then two unhooked, one down, and one slugged. And if the last survivor gets spotted and it gets into chase, that's game over.
it's very true, but unfortunately both
They
unhooks
do
are
get the
just
recovery.
free.
Yeah, they
No
do get the
trades.
recovery.
And even the injured survivor was able to just get
Mhm.
the unhook for free. Just unfortunately expecting a different rotation than what ended up coming through, and this pretty much spells the end
Yeah,
for Luffy. I don't think
they
there
have.
is a survivor mistake big enough that could get our killer back into this game, unfortunately. I hate being a
Maybe
bit
not.
negative here. This is
Yeah,
such
you
a
have
tough spot for a killer to be in.
you have like what 20 seconds left before a gen pops right here that 11's working on in res. Oh, vault into the kill. Very unfortunate, losing that
Oh.
50.
Nazan is here with the cracker. Does back off though. And Nazan can just take a hit here, potentially, prevent the pain res from coming through. Pain res. Oh, it was a pain res earlier. No! And that is the win condition for Team Oboy. Res being able to pop the fourth generator with just 3 stages on the board for a killer.
Very strong check spotting here by Sable. And good. Get some fitness value. And. No, Sunset, she makes it, right? She does!
My.
Oh,
Yeah, what can he do right now? The survivors are just winning everything. You already had a tough win con. You tried to
yeah.
make a play for it, it didn't work out. You lose on the pallet as well. This is so unfortunate for Luffy.
I mean, at this point, right? I'd personally, I'd just be playing for best result. You know, it's still the game's still going. Still can have some good chases, get some cool plays maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
no, survivors played excellently here. That first chase was nuts. What do you think, Emmy? Like, really maximizing their exhaustion perks there for that first down can happen, and then the first down happening in such a good spot that they couldn't even get a pain rest off of. Game
Yeah,
winning.
that was really game breaking, really game winning, as you put it. Just the usually you just go one to the toilet pallet and die there, but I think it was really just the attempted head-on mind game that could have swung the game in either
Yeah,
side's favor, but it ended up just losing Luffy all the pressure and distance, and then the successful head-on coming through after the chase had already
yeah.
been extended. And at that point, it's so tough to still make a win con. Almost impossible, I would say.
Sable
And
makes it to
Nizan
the
is just
balance.
winning everything right now.
But unfortunately, she does get hit there. She does not get she's not able to get enough distance or a rebound. However, she has balance to play here. Dodges the pallet explosion. She makes a
Shack
shot
pallet to
ball.
play
Oh, it's gonna
though.
be a
This should be a
medium.
down.
No. Snazan goes down, and will be our third fresh of the trial.
Hey, they've had some great chases so far.
Oh yes, for sure.
Making the Sable mains proud out there.
Yep. Average Sable chase doing very long. Yep.
Exactly. Sprint burst as well, as you were pointing out earlier, just so much value coming through
Yeah.
from every
Like,
single exhaustion perk,
So many
even
exhaustion perks, yeah.
getting the value out of the head-on too. Like usually once you've identified the head-on survivor, you're like, oh, they don't have any perks to help them out. I can just go for this one. Then with good hit tanks coming through, helping the teammates, they've just been playing it so well on the survivor side.
Yeah. They did get the blind there, and Freddy, I think, kind of lost her a little bit as Rez here gets hit, unfortunately, here by Water Tower. Using that on-hit movement speed, we're going to be going towards the Gallo side.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't quite
even
make
though
the pallet.
2 people are here for it, unfortunately flopping out of the pallet, probably too far away to get the save here.
Yeah. You get the hook?
This time they
Oh my
were trying
god,
to
the
take
pain
a hit
rest
too.
actually. Yeah. I was gonna say the pain rest stopping the last gen from popping there.
Yeah, they were debating if it was going to be worth it to go down, just to prevent the pain rest for a couple more seconds. Decided against it. There is some juking going on here for sure, knowing
Yeah,
that the
unfortunately,
game has already been decided.
Nezan does not get out there because Dustin took the window vault and there's no other resource to play. But will we? What is? Oh,
Just forcing locker here. The win condition has
forcing
already
locker.
been met.
Yeah.
I think the
Where will
survivor
we
team is
see-
just goofing off a tiny bit here.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Like playing that window, trying to bait the swings. We look at the pull here on Sable. Oh, a bit of moonwalks here.
That's actually interesting. I was just talking about how the head-on build usually has very little to defend itself and chase, but
Yeah.
Team Oboy is very well aware of that, and they decided to put Overcome on head-on to
so
kind of
they
make
can
up
have-
for it. I like that adaptation.
Sable. Oh. Not the
We
WS,
kind of
that's
don't want to
crazy.
see that. Sorry, even though there's some friendly banter going on. Save that for your custom games. Nothing we want to
Oh,
see in
what
the
the
tournament.
heck? They used the overcome to wake up from the dream.
Yeah, we might have to remind the
uh,
teams that this game is being streamed.
Yeah.
Because this is getting a little bit silly for a tournament.
Yeah, it's looking like it's a 4K0 here at this point, I'll be honest. But the survivors are like
Well,
usually kind of like messing around. They're moonwalking into the killer. Oh, they get the stun. And then they
Dumb tech coming through. I see you, Mathis. Okay, this should have been. I don't
This
know,
could have been
should have been
possibly-
6 stages, but
yeah. And yeah, we get our final chase here of the trial. A Sable is spotted.
we don't want to see any bad manners in this tournament. If you decide against that, you are going to be penalized. I'm very sorry. It's in the rules. At this point, yeah, the game could have been over.
They do get the pick here. Unfortunately, Sable does go down here.
Even Hope can't save her there. Long hand Joe getting the down onto Sable.
As you're trying to get their get to some sprint burst value, they get the pallets done. They vault in with the sprint burst dump tech. and they just sprint burst around the loop. Yeah, no, I think now that they're trapped in this loop potentially, they are still awake though, so that snare will not put them to sleep. They'll get another pick here on the survivor, and they'll get the down immediately.
Yeah, this is definitely a 4K,
Yeah,
which you know it shouldn't be.
it
At
was.
this
Yeah, it was
point,
definitely like 6 stages ish. Like,
yeah, it was really well played by the survivors until they just decided, hey, we don't want the best win conditions. We just wanna have some fun, you know? And that is finally going to be the win for Team Oboy, who move up to our next match.
very well played by both teams. There's some very good plays here and some very fun chases.
Yeah, definitely would have liked had we just played this out cleanly just to see the best possible result. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, these players probably know each other and were just
They're
having a bit of
having
fun.
fun. Yeah.
But again, if you are not aware of who you're playing against, try not to BM. You don't know who they are. Just be a good person.
I just realized the gate is open.
Yes, they could have left a while ago.
I I, I completely missed that the gate was open, I'll be honest. Oh my. Okay, so Sable lived at least. I was
You got your wish.
yay. I got my wish. But that was a very fun set. Very tough win condition to meet 4K2. But yeah, the survivors just played that exceptionally well and got that win. Well played to Oboy survivors and their killer as well. And also I'm going to butcher this name. Schwertfeger's killer and survivors as well did they put up a really good game, I
They
feel. Mhm.
shouldn't. Again, I think it was really the expected head-on play that could have broke this trial wide open had it been
Yeah.
snuffed out. So really heads-up
If
play. Unfortunately, it ended up
yeah.
backfiring.
If they pulled that head on, that would have potentially, because that's like one injured, one hooked, and then like you could catch the injured person because they're nearby as well. They probably don't get reset because of sloppy. It would have been devastating, but it's very unfortunate it didn't connect. And then the one locker they didn't bother like playing around, they got head on from. Ah,
Yeah.
I hate to see it.
Okay, we are going to throw you to a really quick break while we do picks and bans for our quarterfinals. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around for the upcoming game in just a bit.
Thanks for being here.